No white man had ever crossed the lands west of the Appalachian Mountains. It was an uncharted mystery just waiting to be discovered. Thomas Jefferson had brought Lewis and Clark together in 1804. The two were hired to lead an expedition to find the Northwest Passage and eventually the Pacific Ocean. The Northwest Passage was a rumored waterway claimed to stretch across the continent and lead to the Pacific Ocean.
The two friends accepted the offer to lead the expedition at once. When the news came that the expedition was finally approved, they started preparing immediately and began recruiting a team of explorers.
Thomas Jefferson personally knew Meriwether Lewis and knew he was an accomplished soldier and hunter. He specifically picked Lewis for the expedition. Once Lewis was chosen, he wanted William Clark to accompany him on the journey. Clark was a military man and had extraordinary survival skills. On May 14, 1804, Lewis, Clark, and a group of recruited men set off on their expedition west. This group of men would be called the Corps of Discovery.
Lewis and Clark mapped Louisiana Purchase and became very familiar with the geography. They traveled in the name of America, building forts along the way and sailing in large keel boats on large rivers. The Corps journeyed across the Rockies, the Great Plains, and sailed over many rivers. After completing their journey west, the Corps of Discovery made many advancements in knowledge of the Louisiana Territory.
As they went, Clark kept detailed accounts of the expedition, which we use today to learn about what they encountered. Along the 2.5-year journey, they learned a lot about their nation's newly acquired land. They recorded much about new plants and animals that none of them had ever witnessed before. They faced many obstacles. They had a hard time navigating through rivers and land. Illnesses that they had never dealt with before also became a problem. The food that the group brought also began to run low. All of the men had to start hunting wild animals off the land. Everyone had started to depend off the land and the occasional tribe of Native Americans for food.
But they still ventured on. They continued mile after mile through wind and rain. They took their mission very seriously and refused to give up even if it meant risking death. Back home, Thomas Jefferson had no communication with Lewis or Clark for months, and it seemed to him that they had perished in the wild. What they didn't know was that they were being watched by the natives, who had no idea who the pale-faced men were. The natives, very curious, would determine whether the Corps lived or died.
Lewis and Clark were praying to run into some natives on their journey. They were told by Jefferson that it was vital for westward expansion to trade with them for food and other important supplies like horses. Along the way, the Corps of Discovery met a man by the name of Toussaint Charbonneau and his Shoshone wife named Sacagawea. Only 14 or 15, Sacagawea left to join the Corps. She would leave them west with her husband and newborn baby strapped to her back. She helped with navigation and translating, as she spoke Shoshone, Minantari, and French. Without her, the trip might have failed.
With Sacagawea, the Corps had newfound hope that they would complete their expedition successfully.
The men went for days, weeks, then months, traveling on boat through rivers and walking mile after mile. The days grew shorter as the winter of 1804 came. The Corps of Discovery made a fort and moved in until the weather became warmer.
They became very good friends with Sacagawea. She guided them when they were totally clueless. She was their ultimate survival tool. She solved all their problems with navigation, illness, and starvation because she provided them with herbal medicines, food, and directions. Mainly, she was an ambassador for the Corps when they met Native American tribes. Under her leadership, the journey went a lot smoother.
After months of traveling, rushing through rivers and hiking treacherous mountains, the Corps of Discovery had made it to the Pacific Ocean. It was the winter of 1805. they had completed their mission.
The Corps of Discovery had traveled approximately 4,162 miles to reach their destination, and their hard work had paid off. The return trip was much smoother. Lewis and Clark had a long journey home because they had to cross the continent again to reach the States. Lewis and Clark were thankful and relieved that the trip had very little tragedies. In 1806, the Corps leaves Louisiana Territory for good. They leave behind the wild, untamed land, the mysterious beasts, and strong tides of the rivers. They had not seen civilization in 2 years and were eager to share the wealth of knowledge that they had acquired about the Louisiana Territory with everyone. The crew was finally heading home to the States. Once there, they became heroes. They had done the unthinkable and succeeded in a seemingly impossible mission. Without their bravery, ambition, and courage, America would never be the same.
September 23rd, 1806, the Corps of Discovery saw their first glimpses of St. Louis. After 2.5 years, they were home.
Just go, Maddie. Maddie, go. Can you see her?
Well, let's Bob wants to get on.
Happy birthday, Palmer! You're fat! Slower, do it again.
There's bugs!
Maddie, come on!
I saw something furry!
Maddie, come on!
Backdoor crap.
No, it doesn't matter.
Don't need a key. We get it for free.
No Beyonce sleeves.
Drink that Kool-Aid, follow my lead. Now you're one of us.
You turn the other way. Oh, Jordan! Ah! A boat fell on me!